Hello everybody, it's me David here, and today we are talking NBA and NHL playoffs. And today I'm here with our guest for this segment, Michael Bombardier. How are you doing, Michael?
Doing good. How are you?
I am doing good. I decided to do this segment because I was looking at my NA software for tonight, and there was 20 minutes left until I bring everybody in for the handout session at 11:30. So with that amount of time left, I think this will be a perfect opportunity for us to talk about the NHL and ABA playoffs as it's going around for the second round. We'll be going over the predictions for the series going forward and also our thoughts on the first round, which we had a very exciting game sevens and all that good stuff. And also, I do want to say that there was no need for us to do a round one type of, prediction and all that because we don't know what the teams are going to look like in the postseason until we get there. So, and I was trying to brainstorm of what this segment could be like. So, this is just out of the blue. So, Michael, we are going to have the floor here first to ask me questions of the NBA, and then I'll ask questions about the NHL once we get there. So, set the screen.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Now, do you want me to do a recap of the first round first and then get to the conference semifinal, or?
Sure, we could do that.
Okay. All right, folks. We are going to recap first round of the real NBA playoffs. By the way, that should be the only tournament in the NBA standard.
Yes.
Yes. We'll go Eastern Conference and then go for the West. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Eastern Conference didn't see any game sevens here. We had one sweep.
Yeah. One bag never sweep.
Yeah, the Cavaliers sweeping the Miami Heat 4-0.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Man,
I mean,
they got quite a team with Donovan Mitchell leading the way.
Yeah, 100%. They are the number one seed in the NBA, and honestly, I'm hoping for a Celtics Cavaliers matchup. But I will say though, this is going to be, I want to say a bold prediction, but I think the Cavaliers are going to the NBA Finals. Just saying, they're the number one seed. They deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and the Celtics demolished the Orlando Magic 4-1.
Yeah, it was over before it started. There was no matchup there.
And the Pacers wallowed the Milwaukee Bucks 4-1.
I know.
Yeah, why?
I thought the Bucks were going to be, a battle for Indiana because of them, the Bucks winning that cheap title, as it were. But hey, anything can happen in the NBA. So,
and how about this? The New York Knicks coming in, pounding on the Detroit Pistons 4-2.
Detroit was a bad team last year, and they weren't going to get far in this one. And New York was having a very underrated season last year until like the second half when they had injuries. But for this year, though, they are on the road, and I'm just looking forward to see what they do. As a Celtics fan, I don't mind the Knicks because they haven't won a championship in the NBA since 1973. So hopefully, the Celtics won last year. So
yeah, so far it's been quite the 52-year drought for the Knicks.
And I actually believe I think they really do believe in themselves to try to break back whatever curse they have going on. So, can I continue to the other conference?
Yeah. All right, we'll talk Eastern Conference semifinal in just a moment. But first, the first round in the Western Conference, Oklahoma City Thunder, a pounding on them. The Memphis Grizzlies, 4-0. Shut them straight out.
Yeah, over. See ya. And this one, this was a battle right here. The Nuggets and Clippers. That Michael. That was a great series.
Yeah. ending in 7 games, with Detroit coming out on top.
Yeah. No.
And they play tonight at 10 o'clock with the series tied at 1-1. We'll get to that in just a moment. But how about
Detroit. Okay.
What
Yeah.
are 2 upsets in the Western Conference? The Minnesota Timberwolves.
I know. That was an upset. I thought the Lakers were moving on to the second round because Luka Doncic and LeBron James, who I hate, but I'm so glad that the Lakers lost in 5.
Here's my hint. LeBron, just retire and let your son play.
Yeah. Seriously. And let's go
Let
to the final.
Bronny step into your shoes for once.
I know. For real.
It's time for him to be in the spotlight. And another big upset. Golden State and Steph Curry, as ranked the number 7 in the conference, coming in.
Number 7.
And they beat the Houston Rockets 4-3.
That's correct. And now let's recap of what the second round has here so far.
All right, let's go through second round playing right now with the Pacers leading 2-0. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah.
They're playing right now, and they lead. Indiana leads 2-0, but Cleveland coming out strong early in the second quarter.
Yeah, and as we're filming this for tonight, and as for Cleveland, like they're a number 1 seed for a reason, and I really wish that. Excuse me, they're not down 2-0, but Indiana is also a very good team. So let's see how it goes. I think Cleveland is going to NBA Finals, but down 2-0, we've seen teams coming back from that was before many times. So anything can happen in this series. So
yeah,
that's my prediction. Cleveland winning this one.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell now, averaging 31.3 points per game for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tyrese Halliburton averaging 14.3 points per game.
That's correct. And now let's go to the Knicks and Celtics. Michael?
We're going to the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics. First, I did not expect for the Knicks to come back from that far out behind.
Yeah, it's
upset Boston in the first 2 games. And now you get games 3 and 4 at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, it's
the most famous arena in the world.
Yeah, it's very horrible.
If you're the Boston Celtics, you're down 2-0. I would say, hey, call for a players' meeting.
Yeah, for real. And JT really needs to step it up in crunch time. He hasn't been doing that recently, other than that one game at home.
Free throw department. Did you see one of the free throws in that game too? The most horrific free throw in NBA history.
Also, he's not that. I mean, he's my favorite player, but he needs to step it up in crunch time. He only had that one game I remember earlier at home this season where he got a clock start to end the game. But other than that, it is what it is.
Series leaders for each team: Jason Tatum for the Celtics and Karl-Anthony Towns for the New York Knicks. Now,
go to the other conference.
Let's go to the Western Conference.
Yeah. We have of course.
Tonight on 10 o'clock on ESPN, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're playing the Denver Nuggets in Denver, Colorado. Series tied 1-0.
I'm going to say Denver. I'm going to say Denver Nuggets because they have championship experience, and I think they're going to, they might go to NBA Finals as well. I mean,
Nikola
Yeah.
Jokic averaging 29.5 points per game coming into
Yep.
tonight.
We'll see what happens. They're going to win that series.
And
And not
Shea
the final
Gilgeous
series.
Alexander, Shea Gilgeous Alexander, am I pronouncing that right?
Alexander, yes.
No, the Gilgeous part. Am I announcing that part?
Oh, say that again.
Shea Gilgeous Alexander.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah, I'll give you guys for that one.
33.5 points per game for
Yep.
the Thunder. This series is going to go to at least 5.
Yeah. And as for the other series, go for it, Michael.
And then we have the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors.
I personally think
this is going to at least 5.
yeah. And I think it's going to be Golden State because they came back from that other series, and I think they have motivation to win this one all.
They're playing right now, as I'm currently watching on TNT, the Toronto, Florida Game 3.
Yep. But we got to recap the past series first. Past.
Oh yeah, that's right. So
Toronto,
let's get go from the conference first, and then Western Conference.
Okay, let's go with the Toronto series. They're winning for
Toronto, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Ottawa Senators winning 4-2.
Yeah, and then Florida, go ahead.
Yeah, they're looking to repeat Florida is looking to repeat as Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
if you're at any time you're defending a championship, it is a huge factor in this scenario.
Yeah, 100%. And now
Washington Capitals against the Montreal Canadiens. Washington will go on to win that series 4-1.
Yep.
Washington is really looking to get back into the Stanley Cup final. They haven't been in it since they won the Cup in 2018.
That's correct.
Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils?
Yeah, I was going to say. Carolina, man, 4-1.
4-1. Yeah, Carolina's very determined to get back into the Stanley Cup final. They haven't been in it since they won the Cup in 2006.
That's correct. And now let's go to
against a really tough Washington team led by the great Alex Ovechkin.
That's right. And now the other conference.
The Western Conference. Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. Man, what a Game 7 that was.
Yes.
Cole Perfetti, Adam Lowry.
Man, oh man.
The Jets' first President Trophy in franchise history.
Yeah. Because they win it all. Both that and this.
In my view, the winner of the President's Trophy is more than likely going to be a front runner to advance to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, it is. Crazy Game 7. And same with the Dallas Stars. That was a great Game 7 too. Hat trick.
I'm just going to say
hat trick.
I just want to say this. Those goals by Perfetti and Lowry, Perfetti to tie it with, what was it, like 1.6 left in regulation?
Oh, yeah, with the Jets. Man.
And then Adam Lowry to end it in double overtime. That reminded me of Chris Drury to tie Game 5 against the Rangers.
Oh.
And Maxima Afinogenov to win it for the Sabres. They are really Dallas is really looking to get back into the Stanley Cup final themselves. They haven't been in it since they unsuccessfully defended their cup in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, just a quick follow-up from 1999. Brent Hull, you suck. No goal, no
Yeah.
goal, no goal. Dominic Hasek was robbed.
Mm-hmm. 4
Golden
games to
Knights
2.
coming to put on a thumping on the Minnesota Wild, 4-2.
Yep. That was that was very good series by them, of course.
Yeah,
And same with Edmonton.
yeah. Well, head coached by the schmuck of the earth, Chris Knobloch.
Yeah, 100%.
I
And
still
now,
hate you. I still hate him for what he said about the Bills.
what do you say?
Just ask, just ask the Bills about championship experience.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
Yeah, and his big mouth got him in trouble as Florida went on to win that series 4-3.
Yeah, they did.
Last year's Stanley Cup final, Florida almost choked a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, indeed.
In games before winning the decisive game 7.
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
in my I was thinking if Edmonton somehow comes back
Mm-hmm.
to win it after being down 3-0.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the predictions with the round 2. We got
Already,
Toronto up 2-0. What do you think who's going to
all
win
right,
this one?
okay. Already, like I said, we have actually playing right now the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers.
Yep.
Toronto leads in games 2-0, but they are trailing in game 3, 4-3.
Who's going to win
Goal
this one?
scores for the Toronto Maple Leafs include Matthew Knees, John Tavares with 2. Goal scores for the Hurricane. Goal scores for the Hurricanes included Alexander Markov, Sam Reinhart, the former Sabre, Carter Variagi, and Tomas Nosek.
Yep. Who's going to win this one?
If you're the Florida Panthers and head coach Paul Maurice, what do you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, Florida is really looking to repeat as Stanley Cup champions. It hasn't been done since the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Okay, so you go with Florida. Now let's go to the other series. Carolina and Washington tied up 1-1. Who's going to win this series?
Yeah, let's go to that series indeed. Carolina winning the first game in overtime 2-1. Washington comes back to tie the series at 1-1. A definite game 5 in Washington on May the 15th. And I think for the Washington Capitals, I think they are long overdue for another Stanley Cup appearance. They haven't been in them in 7 they haven't been in it in 7 years.
Yeah, that's a good pick. And now to Dallas Stars. There, Michael. That is going to be with the Jets. That is a very good series.
Yeah, the
Who do you
Jets
think's going to win
and
this one?
the Stars. As a matter of fact, game 2 is actually tonight at 9:30
Yep. Who's going to win this one?
on Turner Sports. Dallas wins game 1. They lead 1-0. Game 2 tonight. And like I said, the winner, the President's Trophy, more than likely has a fair chance of making it. More than likely has a high chance of making the Stanley Cup final.
Okay, so you're picking the Jets?
Yeah,
Okay.
my bold Stanley Cup prediction. I think it's going to be a Winnipeg Washington series.
Okay. And for the other series, the final one, Edmonton's up 2-0. Are they going to win this series, Michael?
You know, I re- I really do this because he was a former Sabre, but I'm sorry, but I am planning a trip to Vegas there. So just because I'm going there next month, I'm sorry, I gotta take the Golden Knights to come back from 2-0.
All right. Very cool. That is our segment right there, and we'll be right back after these words. And we'll see you guys. Michael will see you all next week for the segment.